Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be making some beads. These are some that I made up. We'll do a close-up of these at the end of the video. It's not going to be too long. Making metal beads for lanyards is pretty easy with some basic tools. And yeah, so we're going to get into it. Like I said, it's not going to be a long video. And I hope it helps you guys out and maybe creating some of your own metal beads. All right, welcome back to the Fortified Castle. Hi to all my viewers. Thanks for dropping by. I really appreciate all your support. Yeah, so I've been making some beads. I showed a few here and there. This is the first one I made. I think it's pretty cool. This one I dipped in oil after I heated it up. It's got a slight bluish tint to it and then some other coloration there. So I'll be showing these. I did, I don't know, what do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beads there. I made them in slightly different jigging patterns and stuff like that. So I'm doing that because I'm making lanyards now. This is a Cobra lanyard, knife lanyards. One, just to keep me busy, 2, for my knives, and 3, so that I could do giveaways. I did this little snake knot lanyard right here and made a homemade bead. This is just a socket. A lot of guys just put a socket on. I decided to decorate it a little. This is pretty basic for what I could do with the tools I had at hand for my birthday, which was the 18th, Tuesday. My wife gave me this customizer engraving pen, and so I'll be able to do a lot better job on these. Get a lot more accurate with an engraving pen by a Dremel. I also got this cool hand-carved wolf. Looks pretty cool, don't it? Love that. I like wolves. So I hope you enjoy the video. Basic steps. I start out with 3/8 stock. You could do bigger stock if you want. 3/8 stock allows me to put a 3/16 hole in here, which is big enough for paracord, and then have about a 1/4 inch, to do some jigging on. And this is a royal blue tint that I put on this. Come out pretty good. And it's basically, you're going to cut your stock down into the size. You have to drill a hole and then create some type of design on here. I just used a Dremel, and this is kind of like a scratch design. So this up close looks like claw marks, like a bear claw mark on a door. That's kind of what I was going through. But we'll show these close up at the end of the video so you can see the different designs that I put onto this. So I hope you enjoy it. All right, we got our stock set up for our drill bit. It's a 3/16 drill bit that's big enough for paracord. 3/8 stock is what I'm using, so that should leave me about 1/8 of an inch to work the metal all around the stock to make some beads. All right, now I have a bead that can work. Took a lot longer to drill that than I thought, but I wasn't really pressing hard. Just trying to get down in there. All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of jigging on this little piece of stock here. We'll make a lanyard bead out of, and it's on my little screw so that I can work on this. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. As I said, this was my first one that I made. And let's see if we can get really close. And that's what it looks like close up. really cool looking. I like this chunky look, really the best. And you're just basically taking a Dremel, putting some jig marks in there. And then on top, I did this again by a Dremel. I just took a flat bit and drilled down a little bit. You could do this with a file, by the way, if you don't have a Dremel. Of course, it's going to be a little more work to do that. I'm just heating these up. You could see the blue tint to this. It's a light blue tint on this one. Again, it's a different kind of jig I put on that, a little more even than the other one with some flat spaces. These are nice because you can polish them up and they shine a lot. And then you have the jig spaces, so that's pretty cool. Again, I just got that rough cut crown in there on the beads. And let's see, this one right here. You can see the bluing in it. So all I'm doing is heating these up with a regular plumber's torch, right? Propane torch, pretty easy to do. I put a screw down through here so that I can hold it and rotate it. And the thing I learned here is this'll turn blue at a low temperature. So as soon as it starts turning blue, you want to pull it out of the heat, and you'll get that nice, pretty purple there in your bead. And again, this is a different jig pattern. Kind of one angle going one way and then another way on it. This one right here, I actually dyed with RIT dye. You could see, like, I shined up this metal. This is just a rough cut here where I just went across the surface, damaging the surface a little bit at different angles. And the RIT dye actually held up pretty good. And so I wiped on this. If like these areas right here, I just used my nail and I was able to dig the dye out. Let me see if I could, there you go. And I could just dig the dye out. And, you want that to shine a little bit. And so, you just dig the dye out a little bit and it'll shine for you. But I did a star pattern on here where I'm crowning the top from the side rather than from the top. And just a little different look. So the alternate way to do this is anodize. I'm not set up for that yet. Eventually want to get to that, but really that dye is probably just as good. I think this is fairly durable, so you can rub on it and it doesn't come off readily. Maybe in your pocket over time and banging around, that RIT dye will come off, but you can also see it kind of has gotten down into the metal a little bit. That's pretty cool. This is another RIT dye one that I did, different jig pattern where I just roughed the surface up. And this was a lighter color, and the color did penetrate. You can see it penetrated some places, but it's not an overall, I don't know, it's pretty good. You can see places where it didn't penetrate there. And I guess that has its own look, but I'd say that's not as good as the darker color. So maybe if you're going to use RIT dye, you want to stick with the darker colors. And probably better just to anodize it. And this one is just, again, a different kind of bark pattern I put on here where I just roughed the surface up just a little bit with the tip of my bit, and a crown jig on the sides there, and it looks really pretty, just silver. I left it just silver. Also, you can really pull out the blue when you match it up to the silver color that it would normally be. So when you first look at this, sometimes it's hard to really tell, but out of the light, this heat anodization works, and it is blue. So you can see that really, really good on this one. that is blue. Let's do, and you can see a difference right there. You also get a few other colors here. So heating them up, I think, works the best. You get a deep color that's not going to come out. It's not going to rub off. That's just the metal has turned color. So yeah, it's pretty easy to do. It's fun to do, and nice little project to put on your lanyards. So thanks so much for watching the video. Hope you all learned something. I know I did. This is my first time doing this. Of course, I'll get better at it. And I'll see you in the next video.